Welcome back everyone to the Yu-Gi-Oh! Remote Duel Links Invitational. We are back as the Swiss round 2 of 4 rounds is about to start. I know I'm super excited. Here's what happened in the first round.
At table 1, Raphael defeated Franco. Table 2, we had Moises defeating Gracia. Table 3, Alejandro took a 3-0 sweep against Javier. At table 4, Francisco took a 3-0 sweep against Brian. At table 5, Adrian won 3-1 against Jose. At table 6 and 7, we have 2 more 3-0 sweeps by Oscar V and Osmar F. And then finally at table 8, Fabio won a close 3-2 match against Patricio.
Yeah, it was an awesome round 1. I know we got to watch a couple of really good matches, but I'm super excited for round 2. After this round, we're already going to be halfway done with Swiss before we cut off to that top 4 matchup. But the matchup we have here for us is Francisco R versus Fabio P. We got Dark Magicians versus Shiranui, at least for the first round. What do you think about that matchup, Mike?
I think Dark Magicians are the favorite in that one because Sun Saga's protection is against destruction and Dark Magical Circle will banish it. So that's a lot of work to get a card banished. However, if the Dark Magician deck draws poorly, doesn't pull off the combos it's trying to make, doesn't get Dark Magical Circle, we could see a very swift turnaround there.
Yeah, certainly. So as most of the Dark Magician matchups seem to come down to, it's going to come to the consistency of the Dark Magician deck. Can it go first? Can it open up with the combo? And is that combo going to be enough to completely lock their opponents out? So we're going to have to see. The Shiranui player, it isn't like a... Let me see if I can look at the deck list here. Yeah, it's not like a 60-card version or anything. It's a 20-card version with lots of traps. So if they happen to go first and set all their traps face down, maybe they have a chance, but... There's so many Dark Magicians that get summoned. It's definitely, I would have to agree with you, it's going to be favored for the Dark Magician player for sure. And here we go. It looks like round 2 is ready of the Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links Remote Duel Invitational. Francisco is going to be using the Shiranui, Fabio with the Dark Magician.
Fabio is one of the influencer duelists from Brazil with a large following, so I'm sure he has a lot of fans watching this, rooting for him.
I like the synergy. I like the playmat, matching the sleeves, matching the deck.
He's not hiding anything.
Nope, I'm the same kind of way. I was like, let him know what I'm playing with. But it does look like Francisco's going first, and we do see that 1-card Synchro Summon coming down.
He started off with Squire, which is on the limited 2 list.
Yep, less likely to open up with it. Saga. And 3 face downs. I told you there was a lot of traps in this deck, so this is an ideal opening here from Francisco.
It also helps that Francisco went first, because if he has Ballista Squad or Raigeki Break, although he didn't keep a hand, but if he otherwise had Raigeki Break, he'd be able to cut off the Dark Magical Circle and make things really tough for Fabio.
Yeah, it looks like he does have 1 copy of Cosmic, but 3 copies of Floodgate Trapple. He does main deck a copy of Needle Sealing, which could be huge in this matchup.
That's an interesting tech card that I don't see often, but it can be critical.
It can be devastating. And Duel Links, when you only have 3 monsters and Needle Sealing destroys all of them. But we do see the Ballista Squad coming down.
It's cutting off the Dark Magical Circle.
Which is huge.
Samurai Saga in the graveyard, he can also use Spectral Sword's effect to Synchro Summon a level 8 on his next turn, which is also huge.
Yeah, that's the big thing about Shiranui is being able to synchro on the field, and once they deal with that synchro, you can still synchro from the graveyard. And that's it. It's going to be 2 face down, no attack here.
Yeah, that's strange.
Alright, so the Spectral Sword's effect is activating from the graveyard to synchro summon for a level 8, it's looking like.
I would assume Shogun Saga's coming out here. I wouldn't count Fabio out yet, though, because he does have 2 back rows still.
You could have a Magician Navigation with the Dark Magician in hand. That's all he needs, really.
Yeah, that wouldn't be the worst thing. The problem is he'll still have trouble getting over the Synchro Monster.
True. Okay, because there's no Magic Circle to banish it.
Yeah.
That's right.
So here's the Shogun Saga. He's going to banish the Squire from the graveyard. The effects of his banished monsters will activate.
Illusion Magic. He's going to tribute off that Magician's Rod to add 2 Dark Magicians from his deck to his hand.
He may have chosen not to attack because he didn't want to lose his Magician's Rod and wanted to make sure his illusion magic was kept online by keeping his Magician's Rod on the field. That's the only thing I could think of for not attacking on his last turn.
Yep. That would make sense. Just trying to, the 1600 damage wouldn't make much of an impact, so better be safe than sorry. But yeah, we're seeing the fragility of the Dark Magician having to go second, not having any way to stop the disruption. Literally, all he had to do is stop that circle, and now Francisco has complete control of the game.
Yep, Squire's effect allows him to draw a card and discard a card, and because of Shogun Saga's effect, he was able to banish that Squire to activate that effect and gain an extra 1,500 attack points.
Let's see if that... Oh, Magician Navigation. So he's just going to have to put up a wall here.
Yeah, unfortunately for Fabio, where you would like to be is using Magician's Navigation to summon a Dark Magician alongside Kaiku the Ghost Destroyer, which basically shuts down the Shiranui deck by preventing cards from getting banned from the graveyard. But here, Kaiku's not going to help because Francisco already set up. Kaiku's just going to get destroyed in battle.
Yep, just a wall at this point. But he's going to be able to summon back the Magician's Rod on the following turn.
Yeah, that might help him set up. His best hope is to be able to activate another Dark Magical Circle and eventually banish Shogun Saga. But I feel like he's fighting from far behind right now.
Right. So we're going to see the summon...
Yeah, he activates Magician Rod's effect to return to his hand. That allows him to summon Magician of Dark Illusion from his hand to create another monster that defends him against attack. But he's fighting from behind, no doubt.
Right, yeah, and if there's just one more of the Ballista Squad set, like, it won't matter. When he tries to finally get that other circle, it's just gonna get destroyed. But we'll have to wait and see if that's what's gonna happen. He still has that Dark Magician on the field, so if there's a Ballista Squad in the circle, he'd have to have something else, too, to protect his life. But
yeah,
there comes another Dark Magical Circle.
Ballista Squad's not the only thing to worry about, either. He could have Raigeki Break, too. There's a lot of cards here that Shiranui decks frequently use that will completely cut off Fabio's play.
Right. Yeah, there's still one copy of Cosmic Cyclone in his deck, so maybe you could have that one copy. Let's see if there's any chain here to the circle or if it's going to resolve. As you were saying before the match started, the circle's the big decision maker, and if you can use it to banish that Shogun, you pretty much just win the game.
Yeah, it looks like he activated the Dark Magical Circle to add, but was unable to add anything to his hand with its effect. He completely missed in the top 3 cards.
Yeah, so they're all the tech cards in the next cards. It's pretty unusual, abnormal.
Yeah.
But a Gozuki coming down. Sorry. Not a Goki, a Gozuki. Mizuki's older brother.
He activates his effect to send Shiranui's Spectral Sword to his graveyard. He can't banish the Spectral Sword the turn he sends it there, but now he's set up for next turn, even if Shogun Saga gets destroyed.
Yep, having more Synchro Summons to follow up, so if he does have another Ballista Squad face down, he'll have a follow-up after he has to clear his board.
That's the brutal thing about Shiranui. As soon as you start destroying the Synchro monsters, you have to deal with bigger and bigger threats. So if Shogun Saga gets destroyed, Sun Saga's going to come out next turn. And that one's protected from destruction.
Yep, oh, here comes the Magician Navigation. This is the window. It's a small window.
Yeah, a Ballista Squad chained here to destroy the Dark Magical Circle would be really good.
And there it is, another Ballista Squad. So once again, he's going to be able to summon monsters, but not be able to banish anything from his opponent's side of the field.
Yeah, and because he doesn't have a Dark Magician on his field, he can't banish the Magician's Navigation from his graveyard to negate the Ballista Squad.
Alright, Dark Magician coming down. We saw the animation for the Dark Sided Dimension Dark Magician, and now here's the animation for the original Dark Magician. I guess that's kind of a cool way. If you play both of the Dark Magicians in your Dark Magician deck, you do get to see the 2 different animations. I like that.
Yeah, that's awesome. The animations are awesome.
Yeah, I mean that's what we always like growing up, was watching like them summon the monsters and then come to life. It's always awesome. All right, gonna draw. He's gonna need an enemy controller or something here.
He needs a dark, enemy controller would be phenomenal, but maybe another dark magical circle too.
Nope, just defense, 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 and ends his turn.
Yeah, dark magical circle, tribute summon dark magician, banish a card.
Oh yeah,
that
would be good. Man, trying to tap her game right there.
Yeah, but it's not happening.
See another Gozuki coming down. Gonna be able to dump a zombie from his deck to the graveyard.
Uses Solitaire. Card by card, Fabio is just falling further behind.
Yeah, we've seen 2 navigations resolve without a circle resolving. It's rough. Like, even when he finally got to activate the effect of one of the circles, he didn't even get to add anything to his hand. Like, things have just not been going his way this game, and sometimes it's like that. But he's still trying to do the best with what he has and play the duel out the best of his ability. So we see a Synchro Summon from the graveyard.
Thanks to the effect of the Spectral Sword that was sent there last turn by Gozuki, he can Synchro Summon a level 6 monster from his extra deck. Oh man, Archfiend Zombie Skull.
Oh, now his zombies are indestructible.
Yeah, that protects all of his zombies. Oh man. With the Dark Magician's gone, the Magician navigations in the graveyard are back offline. I don't see any way to win this.
Yeah, not even the Eye of Timaeus maybe. He'll bring him back here.
He's got to use his 3 cards to summon Dark Magician and activate Eye of Timaeus.
Yeah, not gonna happen. There's a face down back. Maybe a wall disruption? We can only. I don't think so, though. I don't think that card is as popular as it once was. He's
Drowning Mirror Force?
No, Drowning Mirror Force would be huge.
Yeah, I don't
3
know.
back rows, 3 monsters, no hand. Direct attack here, trying to finish this first game of Swiss round 2. Both these players did win round 1. So moving on 2 rows is huge. You really don't want to lose any rounds since there's only 4 rounds of Swiss cut to top 4. So each game is so pivotal and so important. But congratulations to Lancelot Francisco taking game 1 with Shiranui for Star Magician. Now, we were talking about before, maybe not the favored matchup for him, but being able to go first, put a monster on the board, set his traps to disrupt the circle, that's all he needed.
That's what it took. I definitely do think he was at a disadvantage in that duel, and I think Kaiku, the Ghost Destroyer, which is not in every deck, but is in most of them, most of the Dark Magician decks, to summon with Magician's Navigation, I think makes him an even bigger favorite. The Dark Magician duel is an even bigger favorite in that matchup, but it didn't matter. The Shiranui deck set up, he summoned his level 6 Synchro, climbed up to the level 8 Synchro, and it was just too much room to hit.
Yeah, certainly. So I think, who went first really, determined who won that game. So do you think the Dark Magician player is just going to be, maybe I'm just going to stick with it, maybe I'll get to go first this time? Because as you said, yeah, if I go first, I set my navigation, I summon the Kaiku before you do anything, I banish your monsters, you can't, the only cards that he really has to stop the circles are those trap cards. So if he gets to go first, he can't really disrupt them anymore. And maybe he'll just stick with the Dark Magician deck, because he had the sleeves, he had the mat. I think that's his. I think he's trying to do something here, win with Dark Magician. But we could see a switch. You never know.
I wouldn't be surprised if he has the sleeves, the mat, and the character to match all of his decks.
Oh, that would be really cool. Yeah, just ready to go. Each character with the character's deck. That next one up, we got Kaiba with Blue Eyes. Maybe that would be exciting.
Maybe.
I hope we do get to see some Blue Eyes decks today. I'm a big fan of that archetype, just in general. My first deck was a Kaiba starter deck, Blue Eyes White Dragon. But even throughout the years in the TCG later on, I played the 60 card Blue Eyes deck, and all those cards are in duelings. The Stone of Ancients, the Sage of the Eyes of Blue, Dragon Spirit of White, Azure Eyes, Blue Eyes Spirit Dragon. They're all here, and that's the deck I really want to see today. But maybe we won't get a chance, but I think it would have a decent shot against Dark Magician, maybe.
I agree. I wouldn't be surprised if we see a Blue Eyes deck. I think that is one of the top competitive decks. And I think the most interesting thing about Blue Eyes decks now, actually, is which skill they choose to use. Most of them use Dark Side of Dimension Seto Kaiba as the character, but now he has 2 powerful skills that both would work well with Blue Eyes. Alternative Evolution had been the favorite to transform Blue Eyes White Dragon into Blue Eyes Alternative White Dragon to destroy anything on command. But they recently modified the Ultimate Dragon skill, which now allows the player to start with Blue Eyes Twin Burst Dragon in the extra deck, and which is awesome, obviously, and also allows the player to reveal 2 Blue Eyes White Dragons from the hand to add a Polymerization to hand from outside of the game.
Yeah, both dual skills are really good, but I don't think we are going to get a chance to see Blue Eyes just yet. But now that we know, I can't wait to hopefully see which one of those dual skills will be used. But it does look like both players may have switched their decks, or it may just be one of them. But at least one of the players will be using heroes in the next round with the Vision Hero increase in the deck, which is one of the best hero cards ever. And being able to Vision Hero increase, discard Malicious, you can get your Stratos, do everything, and you still have your normal summon 3 monsters later. It's actually a really cool deck, but it's kind of gone down in popularity recently.
Yeah, the hero deck's really powerful because it OTKs so easily with Mask Chain. They can play around a lot of cards because of Mask Chain.
All right, well, let's see what we got going on. It does look like we have Black Wings versus heroes. Fabio's going to switch from Dark Magician to heroes, while Francisco's going to switch to Black Wings.
I'm disappointed that Fabio's sleeves and mat no longer match his deck. However, Francisco is using a Blackwing mat with his Blackwing deck.
Yeah, Bandit Keith has kind of took over the Yugi's deck and sleeves. But a great opening here from Francisco. Great openings you can have going first with Black Wings.
It's an incredible opening. You always want to open with Smooth Poison Wind to get that extra Black Whirlwind. And extra normal.
Now, not like the Gale normal, the Whirlwind Act Summon Gale like we've seen earlier today. Another Zephyros. Multiple copies of Zephyros. Gonna get that double search off Black Whirlwinds with the 1800 Zephyros. Let's see what he decides to grab. Orochi. And Bora the Spear. Bora.
This is an extraordinarily strong opening.
A lot of cards, a lot of monsters. Special summons Orochi from his hand since he controls another Blackwing.
Yeah, between his hand and his field, he has 9 cards. He only opened with 4.
No, he's not even done yet. We're not even finished here.
Not even close.
Mercury. And a special summon Gale from the hand for another Synchro Summon. This reminds me of like the TCG kind of where you go first and you summon your monsters, build your board, and like set up your opponent's turn and be like, alright, what can you do about it? But heroes are the deck that really want to go second. They can definitely OTK going second. For sure. Especially against a deck that doesn't play a lot of defensive trap cards. But there's the board, he decides to...
Synchro summons Chidori and brings back the Zephyros so that he doesn't take the 1,000 points of damage at the end phase from the moon. But it looks like Fabio might be able to get through this board, actually.
Oh, here we go. We have the Vision Hero Ferris and Malicious. Oh, wow. But he has the close in his hand also. Wow. That is an ideal opening there for Blackwing for Francisco, who's already up a game. And he gets to summon that Blackwing Dragon.
Blackwing close is amazing.
It's the first time we've seen it resolve here, and it looked pretty devastating. Let's see if Fabio has any follow-up. He still has his normal summon, but he doesn't have the forest that was going to be able to summon the Vision Hero Vion. But he does have Malicious. He can banish the Malicious to get another monster on the field.
You know, if he can make Vision Hero Trinity with 5,000 attack everything, he might be able to still win. And honestly, I'm not calling that out.
Yeah, that's why I say it's so huge that he stopped the Ferris to be able to get him, because the Ferris would have got him access to that Vion, which could have searched for that polymerization. So now he's going to either have to find a way to get polymerization. Oh, his match change. Yep, this is going to send an increase to the graveyard. Summons Anki.
I don't think this is going to be good enough.
This It's looking like it. Nope, it's not looking. I was like, I don't know where he's going with this, but let's find out. Nope, just an attack to take one of the monsters out. But after this very, very strong opening from Francisco, showing why Blackwings is one of the top decks in Duel Links right now. He's able to open up with 3 giant monsters, have the counter trap in his hand, that lets him summon another giant monster from his extra deck. It's just a fantastic opening, showing the power of Blackwings and why we've seen so much of it so far, only through 2 rounds of Swiss.
Yeah, Fabio could have won that if he got Vision Hero Trinity. I think he could have won that.
He would
Trinity.
have.
But it was 100% Trinity or bust, and unfortunately for Fabio, it was bust.
Yeah, that close was just devastating. And then the Necro Valley to make sure, for good measure, the board's going to do the piercing damage, and then followed up by these direct attacks. Oh no, yeah, the increase is negated. Attacker game. Wow, what a game. And just like that, Francisco goes up 2-0 in the Swiss round 2, 1 game away from moving on 2-0 in this Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links Invitational. Big congratulations to Francisco there.
That was an extraordinary opening for Francisco.
Yeah, I mean, if he doesn't keep rocking the Blackwings, that's his deck. If he's drawing like that, he should never switch decks. Just keep doing it. It doesn't matter what your opponent's playing. You go first. You set your board up. Have that close in your hand. Like, am I the only one who does that when I'm playing like the digital Duel Links or anything? Like before I play my cards, I still I physically do it. Like I do the motion, even though I know it's not here, but it's like ingrained into me. That duelist sensation of playing cards. I don't know.
Yeah, it's just the feel of cards is so good. I just like to dream it when I play Duel Links.
It's like part of my thought process. Like I have to move my hands into the motions. Like when I'm shuffling, that's when my thoughts are at their best. Just pretending. But I certainly think Blackwings are a powerhouse and a contender here this weekend. If not, we're going to see them I think we might have seen them every single game. One player has been playing them so far, except for maybe one of the rounds, I think.
Yeah, with good reason. It's definitely one of the strongest decks because it's able to win so consistently in a single turn if the opponent doesn't have the defenses they need to withstand it.
Yeah, certainly. And it does look like one of the players is switching decks. Francisco. Wow, he actually? When I thought he wasn't going to switch from Blackwings, because why would you stop a good thing unless you want to try out your other decks? Maybe he's going to switch to. It looks like Invoked Neos, a deck we haven't seen yet here today, but a very good deck that's kind of risen more in popularity recently.
Yeah, that is a really cool card. It became a little bit less popular when Crimson Fox was put on the limited 2 list. So that would be the Lunalight Crimson Fox. Because the old combo involved activating the fusion spell to send Crimson Fox to the graveyard, summon Brave Neos, and then use Crimson Fox's effect to make opponent's monster's attack points equal to 0 and basically attack with Brave Neos to push massive damage, sometimes even win the game. With Neos Fusion on the limited 2 list as well as Crimson Fox on the limited 2 list, that combo was no longer really viable in Duel Links. So Neos Fusion became a little bit less popular, but it's still a super powerful card.
It's that 1-card summon. It's like Invocation, but it summons a giant monster that searches you more cards, and when it's in the grave, it protects that monster. It's such a powerful card, alongside the Invocation, and this deck just uses both of them. It's the best of both worlds. You just have a lot of free special summons, and then you can play trap cards to protect them. It's a very solid deck, but it does look like Fabio's going to keep rocking those heroes. He is putting his whole round on the line here on this hero deck. Lots of faith here. We'll have to wait and see if it pays off. All right, so, you see Francisco, like you were mentioning earlier, he did, however, have his mat and sleeve ready to change with his deck.
I'm happy to see that.
Dude, that's that pre-planning. A lot of preparation went into this event. He knew that he was going to be on camera. He's like, nah, I have my setup. This is how it goes. I want to look nice when I'm winning. But it looks like Stratos coming down here for Fabio. One of my favorite cards of all time, Elemental Hero, Airman, Stratos.
I think Stratos is a very popular card among a lot of duelists.
Yeah, it's one of the. If you played through the time when it went out, it was iconic. Summon Stratos. That was just the most common phrase. But we see a really good opening. with Ferris discarding Malicious. Heroes can't really do anything turn 1 besides setting up a board. Maybe like set Cosmic with some mass change. Maybe put a Celestial, Destiny Hero Celestial, in the graveyard to set up for some draws on the following turn. But like Blackwings, they don't really have defensive traps.
Ferris puts Increase in the back row, and then he can use Increase's effect to tribute the Stratos and special summon Increase. Using its effect to special summon another.
This is what would have happened in that game 1 had Francisco not had the close. He would have been able to summon that Vion from his deck and search that Polymerization and gone into the Vision Hero Trinity and maybe attack over all his opponent's monsters. But that clutch Blackwing close was able to stop it. So instead, we see the Vion dumping the Celestial, setting up for the following turn to be able to draw a couple cards.
Yeah. It's important to be mindful about Blackbird close. It's so easy to forget about when you're playing against a Blackwing duelist because it's not in their back row. They look like they're defenseless, but they are actually able to play a trap card that negates your most important effect and summons a 2800 attack signal.
Yeah, definitely don't want to forget that for sure. Oh, and the Cosmic Cyclone coming down for the 1 back row. Let's see if we see a chain mass change here.
I'm expecting it.
Yep. So he's going to probably bring out maybe target the Increase. Yeah, Anki. The usual. Man, but these are just monsters though, no trap cards. And then Switcheroo being activated here since he paid the 1,000 life points to swap a card from his hand for a different to his deck for a different one.
Yeah, there's that awesome synergy with Cosmic Cyclone and Bandit Keith Switcheroo skill. Paying 1,000 life points is usually perceived as a drawback of a card, but here it's a benefit because it lets him use that skill immediately, even on his first turn.
Right, but even with the dual skill switching, a devastating opening, only having some trap cards, no monsters to really punish Fabio. So now Fabio has to make sure he can navigate whatever traps Francisco might have. If he has more copies of Mass Change in his hand, that can help. He can search Polymerization still.
Yeah, I think Mass Change is going to be crucial here for pushing through enough damage to win. Looks like he's going to go for that Polymerization.
Probably going to see...
probably Vision Hero Adoration.
Vision Hero Adoration. Right? Yeah, Adoration for sure. Ultimate Providence, going to stop Adoration from coming out. Going to discard Invocation. Maybe he has another copy of Invocation in his hand. Definitely no Alistair.
Fabio's probably happy to see that. Probably thinking, alright, 1 back row down.
Yep, and then he's switching all his monsters to attack position, trying to attack here for game. If he has a Mass Change, it's pretty much no trap he can have. You could put Canadian on the Anki fix down, then you would just change the Mass Change and make another one. We'll have to wait and see if that's what happens here.
Yeah, he needs like Drowning Mirror Force or something extraordinary that he obviously doesn't have.
Yep, so if Fabio has the Mass Change, he's going to fight back and win this game and not get swept out of the second round. Nope, no Mass Change.
He could still have the Mass Change.
He could just be holding it. Right. Wow.
Yeah, there it is.
Just decided not to chain it, decided just to, why not, just get that extra damage in there. Take a little longer, but enjoy the victory to take it back.
Yeah, there was no real reason to chain it, because he could have just waited, as he did. He knew all of his opponent's cards, so he knew he saw that victory from earlier in the turn. As soon as the Raigeki break got flipped, he thought, all right, I won this. Now I just have to decide how do I.
Yeah, right. I'm just the kind of guy. You just chain right away because the timing is just like, oh well, I know all your cards. Look, it's game. You want to like move on? It's like concession kind of like here it is. But the game was over. Heroes showing off what they can do. Like, yeah, just being able to build that board turn one. Sometimes in Duel Links, your opponent's not going to open up with their combos for their deck. They're not going to be able to attack over 3 monsters. So just having that wall is good enough.
Yeah. Mass Change is also just an incredible card for pushing through damage. So a lot of times when you feel like you don't have what you need, Mass Hero Anki will bring you there. And Anki's effect lets you get another Mass Change. So sometimes you could get some interesting paths to victory with the hero deck. And he was certainly able to get there in that game.
Yeah, I know originally when Anki first came out with Mass Change, a big thing was used for Forbidden Chalice, because that also recently came out in Duel Links, because you could attack directly with the Anki, and then damage to Chalice your Anki. It's 3,200 direct, which is game with the Diamond Duel Links. That was always a combo that I was a big fan of, but Chalice not as popular as it once was. But I'm assuming Fabio's going to stick with heroes because he was down 2-0, life on the line, stuck with the hero deck and won. I don't think you switch there. It'd be interesting to me if you were to switch, but I would just run it all the way, try and win all 3 games with the hero deck. Why not? But I would not. Oh, go ahead.
No, I don't know. We'll see. He doesn't want to be too predictable though.
Yeah, just kind of change things. I haven't been able to predict it so far. Most of the time, it seemed like the person who's won has changed their deck. I think that's so interesting. But maybe just to keep their opponents on the toes, and that's why they're getting these victories.
Possible. Just as a reminder to anyone watching from home, duelists are allowed to use any cards in their collection for any duel in the tournament. They don't have to register deck lists. They can play anything between duels, between matches, between rounds. As long as it abides by the forbidden and the limited list, there are no restrictions on what deck they use.
All right. Now we have game number 3 of the second round of Swiss out of 4 Swiss rounds for the Yu-Gi-Oh! Remote Duel Links Invitational. And it looks like we have Black Wings here. So Fabio, I'm wrong again. He won with the hero deck, and now he switched to Black Wings. And Francisco has switched to Shiranui.
Oh man, Fabio's going first in this duel. He starts with, oh!
Ooh, Artifact Lancia. It's interesting. So he doesn't want him to summon Simone, I guess, because you have to banish the Blackwing from your hand.
I guess so, but I feel like he's in trouble because, well, if Fabio knows that his opponent is using Shiranui, he'll easily be able to summon Ancient Fairy Dragon to get Necro Valley.
Yeah, I mean, it's already there. He can get the Gale right here. He'll be able to do Ancient Fairy Dragon plus something else, probably. So this could be devastating for Francisco, and maybe we'll see our first Game 5 of the Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links Invitational. That would be exciting.
It's possible. The only thing I'm concerned about is Fabio doesn't know that Francisco is using Shiranui, so that might not be the play he makes. I think he'll do it because I don't think he has a better first turn play with his Blackwing deck, but we'll see.
Right. Yeah, because I guess a lot of decks could just be main decking Artifact Lancia, but you would think he maybe had it in his deck just because he's worried about the heroes. He doesn't want to be able to banish the malicious, banish all that stuff, but his opponent, Fabio, kept his opponent on his toes and switched to Black Wings. So it could be huge, because even just using that Lancia, it's kind of useless here. And now he has one less card in his hand, so he's going second with 4 cards.
Yeah, I agree. Losing a quarter of your starting hand to maybe stop Simoon is not worth
it. To maybe stop Simoon, especially when your opponent already hard open to 2 Black Whirlwinds. It's definitely worst case scenario right here. In an ideal world, though, that Lancia could have shut him down if he didn't open up the Whirlwind and just had Simoon, but unfortunately, that's not how this duel played out. He's going to go ahead and search the Simoon. Gale coming down? Yep, so summoning Gale. Looks like we might go into Ancient Fairy Dragon.
As long as he's playing that combo and has a Necro Valley in his deck, I think that's the play here.
Yeah, I think if you play Black Wings, there's no reason not to at least tech 1 Necro Valley just to have that option to search.
I agree.
Black Wings, so far, they seem like they're the deck to beat here this weekend.
Yeah, I'm a little bit surprised, to be honest. I know that Black Wings are definitely a top deck, but I would have thought Witchcrafters would have an even greater presence.
Yeah, I think the 2 Witchcrafters we did see play, they have a 100% win rate, but yeah, not as many players using them, but a ton of Black Wings, a ton of players switching to Black Wings. It's so powerful, so consistent, can make these giant tournament openers, has a counter trap, and then going second is devastating, can potentially just OTK you out of nowhere. So being lots of options, I can see why it's so popular right now. Synchro Summon, he looks like he was taking the time to think if he wanted to go for the Ancient Fairy Dragon play, or if he wanted to go a different route. See the animation for the Synchro Summon, 4 + 3 = 7 for Ancient Pixie Dragon.
Alright, Ancient Pixie Dragon, that's interesting. Maybe he's not playing Ancient Fairy Dragon.
That is very interesting to see. Well, he definitely doesn't know this, but now that he sees the Solitaire, he's probably like, oh dang, I wish I had an Ancient Fairy Dragon for Necro Valley. But not a great opener though, so he's still going to have time to navigate this duel and maybe find a win here to even the series out.
Yeah, Francisco started with his Solitaire instead of the Squire that he would prefer to start with. So he's definitely not where he wants to be, and now he just lost his only back row, which was the Floodgate Trap Hole. So Fabio can basically do whatever he wants this turn, and honestly, I don't think Francisco is going to survive it.
I agree. Let's see where he goes. He gets the Simoon that he searched. No Lancia anymore.
He tribute summons the Simoon by getting rid of his ancient Pixie Dragon. What a use of his level 7 Synchro Summon.
Yeah, definitely. He thought long and hard before he did that Synchro Summon too, and I can see his deck list. I know he has Ancient Fairy Dragon and Ancient Pixie Dragon in there.
Yeah. I don't know why he did that.
I think he's going to probably find a way to go to Ancient Fairy Dragon this turn, though. So now that he knows he's going to have the two Shiranuis in his grave, he still has access to a level 7 right here if he wants.
Yeah, but now he can just win. Make Raikiri, special summon Gale, destroy the Spectral Sword with Raikiri, and attack for game.
You're right, yeah. No need to control your opponent if you can reduce their life points to 0. And Mr. Orochi Synchro Summon coming down. There's Simoon.
I assume Raikiri. Oh, City and
Hawk Joe. City and Hawk Joe's going to be able to put it into attack mode, special summon a Blackwing back from his graveyard. And let's see, we got another tuner from the hand that's going to be special summoned, or if he's just going to special summon maybe a Bora or Chris.
Yeah, so that should end it anyway, unless his opponent has Sphere Revo or Kythroid.
Here goes the battle phase. His opponent does play Seer Karibo, so there is a chance here. Nope, no Seer Karibo. The one tech one wasn't in the hand, and that's going to even out this matchup to 2-2. Francisco and Fabio going all the way to Game 5, going the distance here in Swiss Round 2 of the Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links Invitational. What a match, and yet again, another victory for Blackwings.
Blackwings are powerful. There's no question about it, and I think they're also a little bit less mentally draining than the other decks. Blackwings are easier to play. You know, you have less involved moves, less involved strings of plays, which, as the tournament progresses, players might actually gravitate.
Yeah, certainly. Just being able to switch, and when you're playing against that so many times, a lot of players are going to end up switching decks to what they've been losing against also. So we could end up seeing more and more Blackwing mirrors, like, as the day progresses, as the deck sees more success. But then, what's that counter to Blackwings? Witchcrafters?
I think Witchcrafters are a pretty good counter to Blackwings. If you summon Madame Vare early, you can use its effect to negate the effect of Raikiri. Yeah, there aren't that many like hard counters, like this deck always beats Blackwings. I had been playing Cyber Dragons. I like my matchup against Blackwings with the Cyber Dragon deck, but Cyber Dragons run into problems with other decks, so...
well,
I don't know.
This format's perfect for that, where you don't have to play Cyber Dragons to other decks, but when you're just getting destroyed by Blackwings over and over again, maybe you could have that switch and be like, well, maybe I can catch them off guard and the Cyber Dragons will work. But it does look like Francisco is going to be switching to, you guessed it, Blackwings. He's just, after getting destroyed by Blackwings, you can't beat him, join him. But it does look like he's going to be main decking 3 copies of Close, so he's really hoping on going first, making that huge board, and then having that negation in his hand. Oh, but his opponent is switching. Fabio is switching to Dark Magician. So we have that Dark Magician versus Blackwing matchup yet again. Is this how the round started when we jumped in? I believe it might have been, but it started with it started with Heroes, I believe, instead of Dark Magicians. Yeah, that's right. It was Heroes versus Blackwings, but now it's Dark Magician versus Blackwings. So interesting.
Yeah, I mean, we're gonna see how Dark Magicians draw. If he draws well, goes first, sets up his combo. With Magician's Navigation, Dark Memorable Circle, and Dark Magician, I think the Dark Magician player will be in good shape. Otherwise, Blackwings are just going to tear through him so quickly.
Yeah, it really just comes down to, Dark Magician goes first, I think they have a huge chance. And it doesn't look like the Dark Magician player is not using a copy of Heatwave, which is the one way we saw the Dark Magician player win going second against Blackwings earlier. So the coin flip is really, really going to matter in this matchup. Yeah. And this is also Game 5, right? 2v2, everything's on the line. The winner of this moves on 2-0, which is halfway done with the tournament, and they'd be 2 wins away from guaranteeing their spot in the top 4. And the top 4 also will all receive these awesome prizes, like the wall scroll I got hanging behind me, plus a ton of other stuff.
Francisco uses the peak performance skill, of course, to start with Mountain on the field. But Fabio's going to go first and begin the duel with Dark Magical Circle, adding Dark Magician to his hand.
Alright, already a good start here for Fabio. That's what he wants to see. He won the coin flip, and he got the Dark Magical Circle. Is this a Magician's Rod? Oh, a Kaiku. Kind of. Oh, I didn't realize Francisco went first and passed. That was so fast.
I didn't realize that either.
Oh, so Fabio just gets that 1800 in real quick and gets a setup. So Francisco probably drawing a hand that's dependent on summoning a lot of monsters in one turn and maybe finishing off his opponent. So we'll have to see the navigation's going to be enough to stave off Francisco's push here.
That's a dangerous play, passing your first turn with nothing to defend you.
Yeah, is that where you do it, or is really as fast as you can and just hope that your opponent doesn't realize you went first? And then they don't attack. I used to do that all the time on Duel Links. If I had no play, I just end my turn as fast as I can and just be like, maybe they won't realize that I went first. Like I happen to just do.
I think I've had opponents do that to me in PvP dueling, but I count my opening hand and see 5 cards, and I know I can attack.
So you're saying there's a chance. I'm not, as long as this is
right.
But the navigation's going to come down. He's going to try and take out that whirlwind. But the whirlwind, yeah, I guess this is fine. Just hope his opponent doesn't have a Simone.
I don't think
his opponent has Simone. Yeah, I mean, I probably would not do this now. I would wait and see what monsters he summons and try and hit like a synchro monster maybe, but
100%. I would wait for Raikiri here.
Let me get the Magician Illusion on the field. Banish the whirlwind. And yeah, there's another one.
Man. That's
why
I wouldn't have done that. Oh man!
Oh. Imagine stopping the monster after 3 whirlwinds. I mean, either way, he was in trouble actually, because I mean, getting 3 whirlwind searches is rough. Oh man, this is actually if he hit the mountain, he would have been in good shape.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know.
If he wants, he can just summon 3 Gales, use all their effects, have all the stats of Fabio's monsters, and just destroy everything.
That might be the play here. We'll have to wait and see. Imagine going first in like game 5, everything on the line, and you draw 3 black whirlwinds out of your 4 cards. How frustrating that must be.
That's amazing.
So we got 3 tuners on the field. We got 2 Gales. Wow, this is not the hand that Francisco was hoping for.
I guess he didn't have a 3rd Gale.
Yeah, he went with the Orochi instead of the Gale there. Pretty interesting. Maybe... No, he definitely plays 3 Gales, so... Oh, I think... Did he need... Gale can't summon itself off a Gale, I don't think. So you needed a different Blackwing name to special summon the other Gale?
Good point, Billy.
I think that might have been why.
That's exactly what it was.
But... We'll see. Yeah, I'll draw 3 Whirlwinds and have your only Blackwing monster be Gale the Whirlwind? Rough.
Yeah. It's rough, but he did get rid of now Dark Magician, Magician of Dark Illusion. He survived a Dark Magical Circle banish. I still like Francisco's position here.
Yeah, it's not ideal, but it. Oh, Cosmic Cyclone gonna hit that Dark Magical Circle, I imagine.
I'm thinking the back row. The other back row, yeah.
But it was navigation.
Doesn't matter, because for 2 reasons. One, he's forcing if it's a navigation, he's forcing it to be activated now, which forces him to banish one of the cards already on his field, which don't make for much of a play anyway. And 2, with it banished, he's also losing the effect that would allow it to otherwise be banished from the graveyard to negate a spell or a trap.
Well, he does chain the Karma Cut, which banishes the Gale, and now he's going to be able to summon that Magician from his hand and use the circle to banish the other Gale.
That changes things a bit, but if Francisco has a monster to normal summon, I think he'll be in pretty good shape.
So the Magician of Dark Illusion going to target that Dark Magician. And here comes his ever-faithful companion, the Dark Magician.
He's going to need something like Bora and a way to summon Raikiri. Any level 4 non-tuner would be phenomenal here.
Looks like Simone.
That'll do it.
That's good.
Does he have another Orochi?
No, that is probably his only one Orochi. Most players only play one Orochi.
He could get Gale. He would be able to get Gale and Bora, which would be fine. But for the Magician's Navigation, which Fabio is going to banish from his graveyard to negate the effect of one of the Black Whirlwinds. So instead, he can only get Gale. Which, will it be enough?
Gale's gonna have the Dark Magician. Just gonna attack. Still not looking good though for Francisco.
Yeah, it's not looking great, but...
Oh, he was synchro. He's still synchro.
Does he have Vermilion Mech?
Vermilion, yep, he does play Vermilion Mech. What do you know? That's huge here. Now he's in great shape.
Well, he can't banish from the graveyard because of Kaiku.
Oh, right, he can't. Main phase 2, there's no main phase 2, so he's not able to attack over and use Vermilion Mech's effect.
Right, but he is back up to having the strongest monster on the field. If Fabio throws Dark Magician, though, he can tribute summon it, use Dark Magical Circle, and just get rid of Mech. But it doesn't look like
Magician's Rod. At least Fabio has a lot of life points and a lot of monsters to try and stay alive. But Francisco has those 2 Whirlwinds face up, so if he just draws any Blackwing monster in his deck, it could spell disaster for Fabio.
Yeah, I think this is actually going to be tough for Fabio to recover from.
Yeah, it's not looking good. Let's see what he decides to get with his Magician's Rod effect right now.
Actually, if he has Eye of well, he can't get Eye of Timaeus, but if he drew an Eye of Timaeus with Dark Magician on the field, that could also win him the game.
Let's see, Fabio's trying to figure out how... He knows this is the last game of the round and how he can navigate it to find victory. Second Dark Magical Circle coming down. Activate the effect, look at the top 3. Take a Dark Magician card.
There's not much he can grab with Dark Magical Circle that would actually be relevant here.
Except another Dark Magical Circle, thin that deck out a little bit. He's trying to get closer to being able to somehow summon a Dark Magician while that circle's up, as you were saying, and banish that Vermilion Mech. But Francisco's entire deck is monsters. And outside of drawing maybe one of his Blackwing Close or Cosmic Cyclone, everything else is a live card right now. That Kaiku really is coming to play. Oh, it looks like he might have drawn the Cosmic. So I don't think he would have set the Blackwing Close here, even as a bluff.
I agree. Dark Magician, I think, will end this duel.
Come on, Dark Magician. No, Magician Rod to defense mode. No Dark Magician. Which, does he play Illusion Magic? Could he not have searched the Illusion Magic with the Magician Rod last turn? Oh, he wouldn't have enough monsters to be able to tribute summon if he used Illusion Magic.
Exactly.
So it's rough. But now that the Kaiku's gone, that Vermilion Mech's going to be able to start banishing Blackwing Tuners and destroying cards on the field.
Yeah, once Dark Magician falls behind, it sometimes struggles to recover. Fabio did get to rearrange. Fabio did get to rearrange the top 3 cards of his deck. Well, top 2 after taking one with his Dark Magical Circle. So if he didn't get any help from his draw phase this turn, he's probably not getting any help from his draw phase next turn.
Yeah, maybe he took like a Karma Cut. That would be something, but he'd have to use it right now. And every turn that he doesn't remove that mech, it gives Francisco a turn sooner to drawing more Blackwing monsters and just finishing this duel. But yeah, it was the Cosmic Cyclone that's going to put him down to 200 to banish the face down card.
You called it, Billy.
See, it's easy when I have a deck list in front of me and they have 20 cards in their decks and 10 of them are gone. Take a little mystery out of it, but it looks like Chris is coming down. Finally, he draws that Blackwing monster to get the double search off this Whirlwind, and we're just moments away from this duel being over.
Yeah, I assume he's going to get Bora and Gale, special summon Gale, make Raikiri, special summon Bora, and it's going to be over. Right.
Yep, he's going to be able to destroy the monster with the Raikiri. Oh, there he's out of Gale's. If he was it with that.
Yeah, oh yeah, he might be out of Gale's, but he went for Bora alone is going to end it anyway, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah, just being able to destroy the Dark Magician, the Bora pierces over the rod, and then you have so much damage from the Chris and the Vermilion Mech. He's going to be able to end this duel, and Francisco is going to move on 2-0. And Fabio, even though being able to run it back, not quite enough, and going to move on 1-1 after this round through 2 Swiss rounds of the Yu-Gi-Oh! Remote Duel Duel Links Invitational. Big congratulations to Francisco. Excellent play there. Great to see Blackwings. They're very dominant right now. The story of this tournament so far is Blackwings. How to beat them, when to beat them. Will we see more Witchcrafters come out to fight them? Do the players know that Witchcrafters might be the matchup that they need to switch to deal with the Blackwing deck? What do you think, Mike?
I don't know. So far, it's just been Blackwings everywhere, but there's still a lot of players we haven't covered, and we look forward to seeing them soon. So we might see some more variety once that happens.
Right, yeah, definitely. Blackwings, Element Sabers, Witchcrafters. Either way, we're going to be right back after a short commercial break and check up on what's going on with the rest of the Swiss Round 2. Stick around for more Yu-Gi-Oh! Remote Duel Links action.